Good morning, everybody. If you can't tell, I'm trying to be quiet because it's early morning. We have an apartment we've applied for. We're just waiting through today and tomorrow to get word of if our background checks clear out and the credit score check clears out. Background check will clear. We know that for sure. Neither of us has done anything particularly bad that would stop us from being able to get a place. So we should be fine. We should be okay. Hopefully we'll get the good word on Friday. If not Friday, by Monday. And then hopefully that means that we're moving out of here and into our own place again. It'll be nice. It's like, I have no problem with my in-laws. None. It's just that sometimes, well, not sometimes, a lot of times, they get on my nerves. And I'm pretty sure that we get on their nerves, and it'll be good for everybody if we have our own place again. I'm looking forward to it. Everybody's really looking forward to it. The only people not really looking forward to it is my mother-in-law is not going to like it because that means our daughter's coming with us, and she won't get to see her every day anymore. It's going to happen. And my mother, who she got used to seeing us at least once or twice a week. Now that's not even going to be a thing for a while because we gotta make sure we build up income before we can start making those kinds of trips again. But it's a necessity. We have to do it because otherwise, we're not gonna be able to do it ever. And we're never going to get on our own, and well, I want to be on my own again. So, you guys have no idea. If you've never had freedom from your parents yet, trust me, when you get it, you're not going to want to lose it. It's so worth it to get out on your own. Don't ever be scared of it. If you have the opportunity to get out on your own and, live your own life without having to worry about, what does this family member think? What does that family member think? Can I do this? Can I do that? Trust me, you will enjoy the freedom. No doubt at all. Getting that freedom is a little difficult. You gotta make sure you have a job so you have money to support yourself because you gotta be able to have gas to get to work. You gotta have a job. You gotta have a car to make sure you can get to work. But then, any time you have after that is free time, is your time. Take it. Do it. Really. But basically, I guess this is going to turn into an update episode of, this is what's going on right now. Now, because we're moving into this apartment, and we don't actually know how long we're going to be in it, because my husband, he's Army Reserves, and I don't want to hear any bashing out there of military personnel. They risk their lives to keep you safe, to make sure you have the rights that you have. They risk their lives every time they have to step out that door. Especially lately here in this country, when you got people who are randomly shooting at them, even though they've done nothing and are not even in uniform. So don't be happy for the military. Be happy that we have people who are willing to stand up for our country, no matter what. Be happy that somebody is willing to do it. Because Lord knows, I know I'm not. Lord knows, you're probably not, unless you are military, in which I say, thank you. Thank you for defending our country. Thank you for putting in the service that you do. Thank you for everything that you do. I know sometimes it can be rough, trust me. My husband is military. My dad was military. My grandpa was military. And I understand completely that it can get rough sometimes, and sometimes you have to deal with stupid people, but everything you do is worth it. Never doubt that. Anyway, this is basically an update video letting you know what's going on, and because we're looking at this new apartment and moving out soon, there's a good chance that I will be without internet for a while after we start moving in. Well, more like after we move in. While we're in the middle of moving in, I might have a chance to hop online and do a few things, but There's a good chance that we will be going without internet for at least a month while my husband works. If it seems like we're going to be there longer than a month, because my husband being military, he's currently reserves, but his contract ends in about a month, and then he goes IRR. Now, if you're military, you know what IRR means. If you're not military, IRR is inactive ready reserves, which in a nutshell basically means that he is still reserves, but he doesn't have to go to drill, and he can be pulled into active at any time by anybody as long as he's put in the paperwork. So the hope there is that if we have to, he can go active, and then we'll be in a much better situation there as well. Which active, granted, does mean that he can be pulled overseas anytime, and so can we. We'd be put somewhere nearby, but that could mean he goes overseas to go out in the field. And going out in the field is something that fucking scares me, because I don't know if he'd come home. And I worry all the time. I worry now. And he's not even active, I worry now. But that's because people in our country lately are crazy. I don't know what happened to the world, but you all need to calm down. But because, he might go active, there is a chance that, we might only be without internet for about a month or so. But at the same time, there's really no telling, because we don't know where we're going to be here in the next few months. We know here, if we get this apartment, that at the most, over the next month, we know that at least here over the next month, we'll be staying in an apartment over by where he currently works, which makes things easier, at least for a while. We'll be out on our own. It gets us a foot out the door, if you will. We'll be fully out of there, depending on how things go. I mean, the plan right now is if he doesn't hear back from certain places, for better offers, basically, where he'd be making more than he is currently, then the plan is to go active and kind of get us into a better situation in some regards. If he does hear back, then more than likely we might end up moving again, but we might end up moving back closer to our family again, depending. We might actually be able to get our own house. And either way, we're hoping that here over the next few months or so, that we'll be in a better situation than we were, and that we will eventually save up enough money to be able to start paying for internet, and then I'll be back on again. Long story cut short now. I might be gone for a while, so you all know. So anybody who watches me or follows me on Twitter, Tumblr, DeviantArt, YouTube, if it seems like I go silent for a good while, that's why. I don't have internet, more than likely at that point. I just want you to know that's why. It's because we're moving, we don't know how long we'll be there, and if we end up being there longer than a month, we'll be looking into getting internet. But in the meantime, it's kind of a matter of playing it by ear. Really, a lot of this is last minute. He got the new job, and we were starting to think, well, we need to find a place. He was thinking, well, I don't want to have to keep staying at my aunt's house this whole time while I'm working. And it would be nice to be able to see his wife and daughter every day rather than feel like he doesn't get to see us at all. That's when it kind of started looking into apartments. We didn't think we'd find anything right away. We figured we'd be looking a while, and then his mother mentioned that she knew of some places near there that might be available, and when he looked it up, they had vacancies. Like, nobody had applied to these places yet. So it's like, perfect. So we quickly did the paperwork. We quickly rushed over there before their office closed, put in the paperwork, and now we're just waiting. Hopefully we hear back. Hopefully that it's all good, and all we gotta do then is pick a place, because there are 2 places available, and then it's a matter of which one do we want. I hope. I'm really, really hoping. We need to get into a better situation. Again, nothing against my in-laws, it's just we need to be on our own again. We really, really need to be on our own again. I'm going nuts. But that's pretty much it. Update art-wise, I mean, you guys all know, if you're on my DeviantArt, you know, you looked at my journal. that I'm working on the Demons Within artwork. Still working on it, trust me. I really am. I actually have been doing sketches here for a while over the last week, just trying to kind of get ahead, get planned, because the more I have planned ahead of time, the easier it'll be when I actually go to do it. My plan is to try right now and do the rough sketches in pencil first, and then upload them to my computer. That way a lot of the work is taken out of it, and all I gotta do is focus on line work and color. That's the plan. And then hopefully I can actually do all that. I would like to, over the next month or two, eventually get up to posting pages for chapter 9, because chapter 9 is going to be basically a comic chapter. And by that I mean I am doing comic pages for that chapter. It is basically going to be a short webcomic, because all the other chapters I am actually doing just like single images, maybe like a set of 2 or 3 single images to highlight certain things in that chapter that I enjoyed, which that I think other people would enjoy. You know, I enjoy doing single images. I do. But I also feel like chapter 9, as well as, is it chapter 11 and then chapter 14? Yeah, it's chapter 9, 11, and 14. I can check my list later. Are the chapters that are going to get comic chapters, basically. If you've ever made comic pages, you know it's a lot of work. If you haven't, my god, you are making several small images. There's a lot that goes into it, and I've only done it so many times. I had my own webcomic for a bit, which didn't get very far because at the time I started in college, and you all know how college is. If you don't, trust me, you don't get a lot of time to yourself depending on what classes you take. But I'm working on, you know, Demons Within. I'm hoping chapter 9 I can start posting pages at least one at a time here in the next month or two, because if I can at least do them one at a time, then it gives me time to work on the next pages rather than feel like I have to rush. And honestly, those will probably go up as I get them done, not by a certain time, so we'll see. I would love to be able to do time-lapse of me drawing in pencil so you guys could see that, or do time-lapse of me painting so you can kind of learn from that process. I'd love to be able to like do teaching videos, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, mainly just because, one, I don't have a very good camera, obviously. 2, I don't have a tripod to put this camera on to hold it in place. 3, my memory card for this camera is only 2 gigs, so probably here soon I'll have to stop and take this stuff off of my camera just so that I can keep recording. It doesn't hold much, and that's why the quality of this video is down. It's just so I can optimize how many minutes I get. I'd love to be able to do that, but I think I'd have to get a better camera with a much bigger memory card. At some point I'd have to get a tripod to be able to hold it in place while I do that. If that ever does come to light, it'll probably be later in the year, maybe, if my husband still has this job or has a better job by that point, and then we have the money to spend on things like that, but it'll be a while. So I just want to let you guys know what's up. If anybody posts anything to me or replies to things after I've gone silent, more than likely I'm not gonna see them. So, you know, don't freak out. If I don't reply back to messages or something, please understand that more than likely I don't have internet and it'll take me a bit to get to it. So just know that that's the situation right now. That's how things are. Hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being considerate and understanding, and I hope you're all having a better, much more beautiful day than I am, because it is cloudy and rainy and windy here. Love you guys so much. You've no idea, and I'll see you later.